Hi guys. Ooh, I didn't get a vlog in this weekend. I'm sorry. Been kind of busy trying to plan this convocation ceremony, and I wanted to explain a little bit about it. Because some of you may be a little bit confused of why we're doing a convocation this year. Well, this year, as you know, the weather's been pretty stuffed up. It's not been normal at all. And so the whole idea is, but since Yule is also the start of my season, it actually starts this year on the 22nd at 0000 hours Universal Coordinating Time, which means the ritual will start on 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 0000 hours Universal Coordinating Time. Mother has given me some leeway, so we have some ability to adjust our plans as needed. So what's not as hardcore as when I became the Snow Queen during my coronation. We have that leeway to work with. Also we have been trying to figure out the best way to deal with the live streaming of the video. It's going to be on YouTube, but I know that the people are more familiar with the YouTube live streaming through Hangouts on air. But unfortunately, Hangouts on air does not help for people who have who are not using Google. They end up getting losing out because of that reason. I tried a couple other alternative programs to do live streaming, including Wirecast. Wirecast is for the Intel processor, and Wirecast no longer makes a version that is compatible for Snow Leopard, so we can't use Wirecast. The whole original idea was not to have to lug a ton of computer equipment downstairs, and that was what the whole goal was to keep everything set up in such a way that to take advantage of things like the cell phone technology. Don't expect that you're going to have a place to park the family car, because there won't be. After all, it's a regular parking lot for apartments, and so some of you guys already have cars in there, and there's no reason I can say that we can't guarantee that non-residents are going to have a place to park their cars. Residents always will take precedence first, because they're paying rent to have the parking space. But there will be on-street parking, but there's a limitation of 2 hours, except for if it snows in Winstead. They don't no longer have a mandatory winter parking ban until it snows. So I won't be able to tell you until further in advance if it's going to snow. So everything is, and we're trying to get this thing all organized, and it's taking a while because there's so many levels to do. Anyway, so to make a long story short is, we're going to be working very hard to try to get things together to make this convocation a major milestone, because we're trying so many new technologies. Let me explain the first one. 8 gram. 8 gram we're using because we've tested it for radio broadcasting from the backyard of 108 Main Street. We've also used it, which is the Yellow House. We've also used 8 gram to do a brief October Halloween broadcast, which probably bores you to death, considering we didn't do anything. We used 8 gram for several live streaming sessions, and in the applications that we used it in, it had provenance in metal quite well. So it makes sense to use it for this. Why aren't we using Google Hangouts? We're not using Google Hangouts because, unfortunately, number one, it does not directly input from my PAL camera, or any QuickTime camera for that matter. So because of the lack of input from a PAL camera, which is a Firewire camera, we can't really use it directly. And here's Dory. And I was explaining why we're using the iPhone instead of lugging down the whole computer down the stairs was because we wanted to try to keep it lightweight.
It's raining.
And it's raining right now. Yeah, it was raining all day. I woke up earlier today and it was wet. So, we have to, I got some things to hand out, which I'll hand out to you afterwards because right now it's kind of hard to do it with the camera. I did some flyers for the Convocation. I printed you a couple for prime time, and I printed a couple for the Sip Kitchen, and I'm looking forward to this.
I know you are.
How do you feel about the Convocation?
Well, I'm just gonna say that this is the first time that I've seen videos of Michelle do it. I think I've seen one.
Eastern Coronation, which was not quite the same thing as a Convocation, except it was similar to the Pomp and Circumstance.
Oh, okay. Well, Michelle talked about it so much that I decided this year to come up and see it with her. And
also, we're going to try to contact WFSB Channel 3 News to see if they could send a reporter to cover it too.
All right.
We'll call them, we'll call the newsroom after this and see what they say.
All right, and I think that'd be really cool too because that'll give Michelle more people to understand what a snow queen does and what what a snow queen is all about.
Right.
And that Michelle can understand that that the snow queen can help us understand it more.
Well, let's start with the most important theme of this Convocation. This year, it is obviously officially the beginning of winter. It is also, the theme of this Convocation is to unstuff winter, which seems to be stuck in a rut for us here in the New England area. We haven't had a winter yet. We had a few cold days, but it seems that winter is almost like it needs a Sudafed. It's all stuffed up. It's not right. It's part of the problem is the El Nino, but it's not the only part of the problem. But
I heard we're not going to get that very much snow this year. Is that true?
Oh, I would say, given the current circumstances, I'd say yes, it's true. Because the problem is that the North. Well, I'm going to try to keep it simple for some of my people who are not quite familiar with meteorology because I don't want to get them too complicated. There's jet stream, okay? Now, all of us knows what the jet stream is, I hope, right? Now, because everybody's looking at the camera this way, I'm going to have to remember to go from right to left so it goes left to right for you on camera, okay? Normally, the jet stream for the United States is like this, okay? Up here from Washington State, it kind of comes down and bisects the U.S. around Pennsylvania, Maryland. Well, this year, it's not in the United States. It's bisecting Canada above the provinces, so halfway through Canada, right near the Hudson Bay, is where the jet stream is stalled. So the best that's happening is we might get the jet stream might creep a little bit down towards upstate New York, but it's not really going as far as it should. So what we need to do is do a spiritual working, and hopefully this is why I need to get as many people to come as possible, because it's all going to have to be a lot of collective spiritual energy to do this. I told you before, trying to fix this thing is like trying to move around a 2-ton gorilla. Okay, you're not going to do it by yourself. But if you get 15 and 20 people to push, the gorilla is going to have to move. So what we're going to do is, the idea is to bring the jet stream closer to where it should be so that we can get the snow and the cold that we need, at least something. Because given right now, the current trend shows that there's not going to be any snow for Christmas. I know we like snow for Christmas, but I really would like to see more than just a dusting personally. But that's the whole theme this year, is to give Mother Nature a Sudafed to help unclog your sinuses and blow some cold this way. So what do you think about the idea? Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's a practical goal?
What?
Well, I just explained.
I think we should pray for snow.
We are. It's going to be a big group.
Just for Christmas.
Well, unfortunately, right now we got to get the whole cold front down here, or we're not going to have any chance of snow. If we don't get that cold front moved down here, if we can't change the Arctic oscillation to a minus in the sea, it ain't going to be cold for snow. And it's going to be too warm. Might get rain for Christmas instead. And nobody likes rain for Christmas, not even Santa Claus, especially when he's on a slippery roof as it is.
Right.
So, you gotta keep that in mind, that it would be better if we can get some snow, a good dry snow, powder snow. Yeah, but isn't powder snow worse for people going on roofs called Santa Claus? Apparently he's mastered the technique, Lou. I guess so, after about, 200 years? 200, 300 years? Yeah, he mastered the technique pretty good. But I still think that, even so, people want to have winter. The ski resorts are hurting. They're not getting the snow they need. The snow that they need to keep themselves open, it's gone. It's not here. So many ski resorts are unsure if they're going to make a profit this year. Most of them believe they're going to be operating at a loss. Some of them might decide some of them may have suffered enough baloney in the last few years that they may decide that this is the last season ever. So we have to do something to help the ski resort owners and the snowmobile renters too, because people want to enjoy snow. You know, you ever seen that movie Holiday Inn?
I think so.
Okay, well, if you do, maybe you might understand. It's an old movie starring Bing Crosby. The whole idea was Crosby, he in Doris Day and what's the other one's name? She does Mambo Italiano. I'll remember later. Anyway, the whole idea of the story was they were trying to have a fundraiser to save this hotel, which was like many of the ski resorts right now. It really was desperately needing to get tourism into that part of Vermont of the story's based, because there had not been any snow. The owner of the hotel was afraid he was going to lose his business because he couldn't pay the bills, because he wasn't getting rooms rented out. See, guys, even though that's a story, the truth is the real story is just as sad as the fictional story. We need to do something to get the snow to fall. We need to get the way on the climate depends on the winter. It's actually a very important part of our gross domestic product for this region. You have your Black Monday, it's great for Christmas sales. But also, to go along with those Christmas sales, we gotta sell ski lift tickets. We gotta sell, encourage people to come to the ski lodges and to spend money on ski activities and fun things. Ice skating. You can't even ice skate on Highland Lake right now. There's no ice. You can't do any of that. So the whole winter is like totally stuffed up. And it's gonna stay stuffed up unless all of us, work together and help to move the cold front from way up here in Hudson Bay down to where it should be, or close to where it should be, which would be at least in mid-New York State. So if we can get it down that far, or even further down into Pennsylvania, that'd even be better. Which, actually, Michelle, isn't New York State and Pennsylvania kind of close together? Mid-state New York kind of... Yeah, I know. Okay. Just don't mix up these geography. No, what? I aced geography in high school. I know. Okay, so... But you're right. Okay. We can get the cold front further as down as possible. between the north and south of the Mason-Dixon, got being better. When we have the cold air we need to make from the ski resorts, even if they can't get natural snow, they can have the temperatures they need to make artificial snow. Right now, they're having a hard trouble just trying to make artificial snow because it's too warm. It's not staying. It's coming out of their snow canyons as wet stuff. And when it hits the ground, it's just not making a good solid base, and it's making them very difficult for ski resorts to encourage people to come and want to go skiing. I never went skiing at all in my life, but I'd like to try it someday. But the problem is the rentals, the poles, and the skis is kind of ridiculously expensive. But that's a whole other story. So all of you are invited to this, and I'm all hoping that you will come. And how many people do you know that are coming? Did you mention it to anybody?
I asked my daughter. She said she can't.
What about Linda and Nikki and all them?
I'll ask them.
Well, they're right downstairs. Why don't you ask them?
I will.
Yeah. Well, of course, I can give you one of the printouts to bring down to them, too. And right now, I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to contact WFSB. Do you want to email them or call them?
I guess we can call them and email them.
Well, we can call and email. That sounds like a good idea. Cover from both angles. All right, guys. Keep in touch. I'll let you know if something happens, if something goes wrong. But I don't see a problem with it. Please make sure to dress warmly. And bring something to sit on. Because there will be no... it'll BYOS. Bring your own seat. I don't have enough chairs, everybody. And even if I did, if I could get them, they would have been probably metal chairs, and everybody's bum would be very cold. Sure. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.